Hey friends, back with Tuesday, March 24th, our at-home workout. So today we have two parts. We have an accessory strength and a Metcon. The accessory strength, if you notice, that actual programmed workout is 6 sets of 2 snatches, but most of you do not have barbells, but you all have either a PVC pipe or a broom or a Swiffer of some kind. So you're going to be using those to do that. Michael's going to demo what those look like in just a second, but it's going to be on an EMOM. So basically every minute on the minute you're going to switch which movement you're doing. So on the minute 1, you're going to do 10 PVC snatch balances. Minute 2, you're going to do 10 overhead squats with that PVC pipe. Minute 3, you're going to do 10 tall snatches. Then you're going to start back over. So it's basically 5 rounds of this, and it'll equal 15 minutes. So with this, you're not going to be doing a lot of weight, but this is where you're going to be doing a lot of prepping and skill building. So when you do come back into the gym, you've created a lot of good movement. You're focusing on getting tall. You're working on mobility. You're working on getting under that bar. So then that way, when you come in, your movement's going to feel even better than when you left. So don't just skip this. This is still a really important part. So once you're done with this, this is going to really help you warm up for these dumbbell snatches and the dips. So we're going to have a 12-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds and reps as possible. Going to start with 18 dips. Those dips can be, if you have parallettes or you borrowed parallettes, you can do them off of a chair, off of a couch, off of a coffee table. Really anything you have, you're going to be able to do those. We'll demo in a second. Then we're going to do 12 wall balls. If you're borrowing a wall ball, but you don't have a target, we can go to air balls, which we'll show you what those are. Otherwise, you can still use that wall ball, dumbbells, backpack, kettlebells for thrusters. And then 18 dumbbell snatch. If you don't have a dumbbell or a kettlebell, you could try to use your backpack for snatching. Otherwise, a good substitution for this, which will be on Wodify, will be 18. It'll be a deadlift, 18 deadlift, and then 18 presses. So it's going to still give you a really similar movement. All right, so with that being said, we're going to demo this part. So we're going to start with that snatch balance. It's going to start with that PVC pipe behind his head. Notice his elbows are tucked down. They're not flared up behind him. His wrists are nice and strong, elbows up. His feet are going to be in that pull position, so a little bit under. He's going to dip, drive, and then pop his feet out. Michael, make sure you open those hips all the way. So he's going to dip, drive, open those hips, and then pop his feet out and drop. So you're thinking pop and drop. Give me one more. Good. All right. So from there, after that last one, you can rest. Then we're going to go into the overhead squat. So he's going to get that in the overhead. Make sure his feet are in that overhead squat position. When you're focusing on this, I want you guys to focus on your armpits coming out. Think about pulling that bar apart, getting in a good stable overhead position. All right, go ahead and squat. As he's squatting, he's really focusing on trying to keep this PVC pipe right over his shoulders. He's not wanting to pull too far back. He's not wanting to let it come forward. Excellent. All right, rest. So now that tall snatch, it's going to start in the front part. So he's going to get on his feet. So he's going to be in his pull position. So bring your feet in from your squat snatch, your squat position. Yeah. So he's going to start tall. He's going to be on his toes. He's going to squeeze his butt nice and shrug. And then he's going to drop under, pull, and pop his feet out as well. So that's a little bit adding on to that snatch balance. And now it's bringing it from the front. Go ahead and do 2 more. Excellent. Stand, last one. Excellent. Cool. So now he's probably feeling nice and warmed up. So we're going to go transition back to that Metcon. So he's going to start with the dip. I'll slide that out of the way so you can use that chair. So he's going to show you 2 ways. So with the dip, depending on how high that is, you're going to put your hands behind. This is going to be the easier way where he's using his feet to take up some of those, I don't know if you can see, take some of that body weight away. So he's going to dip until his shoulders, he's finding that good parallel position. So his shoulders are in line with his elbows coming all the way up. If this is too easy, he can extend his legs all the way out. So now more of his body weight is on his arms. He's going to do that same thing, dip down, press all the way out. So it's up to you, just scaling. You shouldn't probably be able to do all 18 in a row. So make it, if you have your feet in and you do all 18 in a row, maybe extend those legs out just a little bit so you can kind of do an in-between with that. All right, moving on, wall balls. You guys all know wall balls are. I don't have a target over here. But if you want to go to a thruster instead, if you have low ceilings or something, so you're going to have that ball in that front rack position. He's going to squat down. He's going to thrust his hips forward, press his head through at the top. So that's going to be that scaling option. Otherwise, you can do an air ball, which is going to be coming through, just throwing that ball out, catching right in. So it's going to mimic a wall ball. It might not be going as high, so if you have a lower ceiling or you don't have a wall that you feel comfortable throwing that on, you can always do your thrusters with your dumbbells. You can do single arm thrusters. You're going to show a couple of single arm thrusters. So you can do 6 and 6, switch arms. Same thing, you can do the same thing with a backpack. I'll have him show you a backpack. So he's gonna have 2 arms, hold it out in front, keep it in that front rack, press all the way through. You can play with finding out how you wanna hold that. Might be easier if you tilt it on its side, either way. All right, so with that dumbbell snatch, the biggest thing is it's gonna start on the ground. I want both heads of the dumbbell to touch the ground. Then you're gonna use those hips getting nice and tall, pulling all the way through. Pause up here. So you notice that his thumb is backwards or at an angle. We wanna make sure we're still in that position and not thumb forward. And we're gonna alternate. So you can alternate at the ground or you can alternate right by your face. Good. If you have a kettlebell, but you're not comfortable doing a kettlebell snatch, like you said, you can do those deadlift and press. So he's gonna give me a few deadlifts. So you could do deadlift and press together, or you could do 18 deadlifts, or basically 9 on each side, 9 deadlifts, and then 9 presses on each side. And you can, whatever is gonna fit what equipment you have. Again, if you have questions on what to do for that, make sure you reach out to a coach. We're more than happy to help you figure out how to make this work at home. So again, accessory strength and a Metcon today.